guys, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, with No Sim September having passed and us beginning into this poopy month, I thought I would go ahead and discuss some of my favorite Sims who probably would have failed No Sim September, along with myself. Sadly, I kept this pretty male-centric, so I will be more than happy to add a feminine aspect to it or an LGBT aspect as we go down the line. I just feel like Sims for like heterosexual males are pretty normal, so it was really easy to find them. Before we get into it, you guys know what to do. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and comment. Want to see more content from me? Leave me comments down below about what you guys would like to see from me in the future. But let's go. Is it really a Therese video if I'm not eating between breaks? This time I thought I'd go a little healthier with some strawberries. The first one I'm gonna have to go with, this one is kind of like an oldie but a goodie. I've discussed my guilty pleasure books, and this is like by far the guiltiest pleasure that I'll ever have. And that's gonna have to be Maxon from the Selection series by Kiera Cass. This is a YA, like kind of dystopian, kind of set in a weird The Bachelor scenario, but in a dystopian world. Maxon is the prince who has 35 girls lined up for him, and in that time he has to choose a girl and fall magically in love with her. And America happens to be the girl he sims for. We're not sure why, but I love Maxon. He is such a simp and a sweetheart, and like it's very obvious that no matter what happened, he was always going to be in love with America, even from the beginning of the book where they were still friends. Like, friends don't typically have like a cute little like code, nor are you going to break the rules about jeans, specifically jeans, for someone you just met and call a friend. The next one is another goodie, and I will be finishing the series come November, I hope. But that is going to have to be Thomas Cresswell from Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco, another YA historical fiction set in the 1800s following young Audrey Rose who wants to be a coroner, forensic scientist, and Thomas happens to be her oh so amazing love interest. The entire world sims for Thomas, but let's face it, he would not look any other girls' way unless your name is Audrey Rose. And even then he might look at you and be like, you're not her. Bye. We love a simp. We love an intelligent, witty simp. They're my favorite kind. The next one is another oldie but goodie. This one took a lot for me to kind of include because he does cheat on her. It's very much implied, almost said on the page that he does cheat on her. But I'm gonna have to go with Billy Dunn from Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Billy simps for Camilla. She's his wife. It's like, yes, he does cheat on her with Daisy. It's quite unfortunate. It's very much implied and kind of basically almost said out loud. But I like the fact that in the beginning he very much simped for her. It was like 6 months in, he's like, I'm gonna marry you. I have like a bajillion different songs written about you. I was gonna make this work. Like, we're gonna have kids together. It was great. And even in the heart of him having cheated on Daisy, he does go back and say that Camilla is the one that he desperately needs to live with, or that he cannot live without. And he is a simp in a very complicated way. But in the beginning, if y'all hear a door squeak, that was my cat entering my room. But he is very much a simp in the beginning, and we love that. He is very sweet to her. He has a lot of issues that he needs to work through, but he is in fact a simp for Camilla. Next one is a recent book that I have read in the beginning part of the year. I'm going to have to go with Ben from Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid, another Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I wanted to have less than one from each author, but sadly I didn't realize it, and now we have two. But Ben is similar to Billy in the sense that he literally meets a girl, falls head over heels in love with her, and marries her in like the span of maybe less than 6 months. He talks about how great she is, how much he loved her, and he was all in, all the way, probably even in the afterlife. That's no surprise, it's not a spoiler, it's in the back cover. But I love Ben, he's so sweet. Ben reminds me of my own partner, which is sad because Ben is dead. But I adore Ben, he is very sweet. And like I said, we love a wholesome simp. We really do. We love a wholesome simp. The next is another oldie, but and one that I desperately need to finish the series of. Waiting for paperback, as Teresa's continuous dilemma seems to be. But that is Elias from court of the flame, blah, 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 blah. But that is Elias from An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This is a YA high fantasy, I believe inspired by Middle Eastern mythology. He's a simp. He's such a simp. He's one of those simps that doesn't realize he's simping until he sees her with another guy, and then he's like, I'm simping. I'm simping. I can't even get into it because it all happens in the second book, but he is just... If there was an Urban Dictionary or a dictionary, if the word simp was there, they wouldn't even have a definition. It would just say Elias Venturis. He's just a simp. And that's okay. We love, we just love general simps in this household. There's no changing it. We just love all forms of simps. The next simp on the list is actually two simps. This one also has had me, I had to think about it for a minute. But those two simps are Benedict and Roma from These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. It took me a minute for Roma because, you know, there were issues. But as the book continues, he continues to simp for Juliet. He's a hot mess full of emotions that he doesn't know what to deal with, but he does know that he really loves her and he thinks her of the world. Like the way he describes her. And then there's Benedict, my very sad closeted gay man. Y'all will see when you read the book, if you ever read the book, there's just a quiet simpiness about him, and I can feel it in my gut, and I'm here for it. I really am. I want more subtle simps where he is aware of what he is doing, but no one else around him is aware. Because I feel like with simps it's the opposite, like where they don't know what they're doing, but everyone else is like, bro, Sif, you should know what you're doing right now. And he's like, I'm not doing. Benedict knows what he's doing. He's very aware of what he's doing. He says it out loud that he is aware of what he is doing, and he still does it. So, we love that about a self-conscious simp. And finally, the last simp, who could also take Elias's place in the list on like the definitions, and that's gonna have to be Nasir from We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faizal. I'm never gonna stop talking about this book until the year is over, so y'all have at least a good like another 3 months where I talk about this book in some capacity, and even then I'll probably start my 2021 best reads with this book. So y'all have nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, and I'm so sorry about it. But Nasir is another one where, like Elias, he doesn't realize that he is simping until he's sitting there going, frick, I'm simping. He's also a very unaware simp. Like, it's been meant, it's brought up a lot by Altair and literally everyone else around him. Everyone. Like, even the gods can tell. And I don't think there are even gods in this book. But he's just a big simp, and we love it. But he does need, he needs to take some time with himself and realize that he is in fact simping. But we love him. We adore him. We love a good wholesome, he's not very wholesome. We love a good simp who's unaware of his simpiness. Like, if it wasn't, simp was in the dictionary, the people who determine how to describe it would have a hard time choosing between Elias's face and Nasir's face. A very difficult time, because they're one and the same with their simpiness and their angst, which is why we love them both. But that is it for some of my favorite simps. I will be continuing on with this list, so this is only a part 1. I'll probably have more simps lined up here soon because I'm forgetful. Like, I'm staring at the Starless Sea right now and realize that there are a couple of simps in the Starless Sea. But if you guys enjoyed this video, leave me a comment with all your favorite simps below, and hopefully you guys will be joining the group chat and I for Trick or Treat-a-thon this year. Please let me know if you guys have done your TBRs yet, how far you guys have gotten, if any of these books are actually on your TBR. Yeah, but until next time, hopefully you guys are having a great week, and if not, hopefully your week gets better. Bye!